Okay folks, in this video I will show you how to scan objects for your digital scanogram. So the first thing you need to do is open up Photoshop on this computer, and then you're going to go to Import Images from Device. You're going to make sure Epson Perfection is selected. It's automatically going to do a preview scan, which is just going to be the ceiling. So I want you guys to set up the different options for the scanner here before you get started. So it's going to be the flatbed scanner. You want to make sure it's a color scan. Colors can be millions. You can scan at a higher resolution for this project. Let's do 600. Okay, and we're going to detect enclosing box. And you want to make sure that for this you just kind of have the marching ants around the entire scanner bed image, and we can crop and adjust things later on. Okay, so then you want to make sure you change the scan to, click on scan to, go to other, and go down to your student folder. Right now my folders aren't, my network drives aren't accessible, but you would go to student network drive and click on your student folder and make sure it's being saved in there, and then you can call it Scanogram 1. And the format's going to be a JPEG. All of these things you're going to leave it as a none. Okay, so then the scanner itself. Okay, for this project we're going to make sure that we put a piece of acetate, that's this clear plastic stuff. You want to make sure that is down on the scanner bed to protect the glass, because we don't want the glass getting scratched. Okay, if you don't have a piece of acetate, come find me and I will make sure you have that there. So I'm going to just tape this down onto the scanner so it doesn't move. And if this gets really funky, also let me know, because if this is really dusty or dirty or wrinkled, that will also show up in your scan, and that's not a good thing. So now you would arrange your objects on the scanner bed. Now remember, it's taking a picture basically from underneath, so you want to make sure that you're looking at what you want to see. Okay, so like something like this I could do on an angle, or I could put it upside down. It's up to you how you want that to look. Okay, but just think about that, you know. Do you want to see the underside of the starfish or the top of the starfish? So that all depends on how you arrange the objects. So I'll put this. Now these objects are three-dimensional, right? They stick up. So obviously I can't close the lid, okay? So once you have a nice assortment of objects, you know, and they can overlap. You could put things in the background. You could put a piece of fabric, a piece of lace. It's up to you, okay? And maybe I'll do my doorknob just to see how that kind of comes out. Put that inside there. Okay. There we go. All right, so now I have an assortment of objects. This is my self-portrait, okay? And what you can do is take a piece of black construction paper and place that over the objects. Okay, if they're really tall or abnormally shaped, you might want to try something else. Also, if you do something like a natural thing like leaves or flowers, you might want to actually press them down so you can put the black construction paper on and then a book, or try to close the scanner bed. But something that is this three-dimensional, you don't want to do that. So you can try the paper, okay, or I have these really cool box tops that I spray painted black, and there's a little extra ledge right here to help support it, so I can actually place that right over my scanner, and this ledge will help hold it where it needs to be. Okay, so now I don't know what I'm looking at, so I'm going to click on the overview button, and it's going to scan my image. At this point you can check and make sure that you like how your image looks. If you need to make any adjustments, you can do that at this point. Okay, my image might be a little bit dark, but you can obviously fix that in Photoshop, so that's okay. So if you're happy with how that looks, great. If you want to move anything, like maybe I want to just adjust my starfish here. I don't really like how that looks, so I'm going to bring it down so the shadow from the tape doesn't affect the starfish. Okay? Okay. And then here we go. Okay, and now this moved my marching ant, so I'm going to just drag that back to scan the whole image. Okay, and then I'm just going to hit scan once I'm happy. You can hit overview again to see the preview, but I'm just going to go ahead and scan that. And that is basically how to scan your objects. So in the next video I will show you how to actually start editing those objects in Photoshop. But after this is done scanning, it will open up a document in Photoshop. Just double check, make sure it's saved to your student network folder so that you can access it from your computer. And if it's not, you can copy it into your student network folder from this machine. Okay? So there we have our image. And it opens it up in Photoshop and we can see, okay, so I'm recommending that you try 5 different compositions. So while you're here, while you're at the scanner, try 5 different arrangements. Maybe take an object out, add more objects, put something in the background, move things around. Try to do 5 different arrangements so you have something to work with. And they can be totally different compositions with totally different things, or you can just make alterations of the objects that you have. Okay, so maybe in the next scan I would add some more of these doodads, or maybe I would do a scan of something natural to add to that composition, like an assortment of leaves, especially now that it's fall, you get some pretty leaves out there. Okay, so my image has been saved. I think it saved it to my Art Fundamentals folder. Okay, so I can get that from my computer later. Okay, so that's how to scan. When you're done scanning, just take the box off. Now, we want to make sure that we keep these boxes for the next student that needs to scan, so we're going to be careful. We're going to take our objects off the scanner bed. We're going to put them away, especially if it's something valuable, like a necklace or something like that. Just be careful with it. Okay. Okay, and like I said, make sure that the acetate is on the scanner bed. Make sure it's clean. If it's really funky, like fingerprints and dust and whatnot, we will replace it, so just let me know if it gets to that point. Okay, and when you're all done, just close the scanner lid and you can stick the box top back on there so that it's ready to go for the next student. Okay, and then make sure that you log out, close down everything, and log out. Okay, there we go.